You can't be serious, Ugandans. You mean to tell me the Uganda Communications Commission has announced internet is going off today, 13th of January at 6 p.m. and elections are on 15th. And you tell me you support the same government that has to switch off the internet to conduct free and fair elections. What's going on? You're telling me you're supporting the same government that has deployed military everywhere in the country to make you guys scared? Are you mad? Oh, don't get me started on you guys who are saying Bobi Wine is young, because you are the most stupid people we have around. Because Museveni came into power when he was 41 years old. That was in 1986, but some of you are even too dumb to read about it. Yeah, 1986, everyone was celebrating the young, redeemer. He saved us from the war. In reality, Museveni invaded Uganda. Even the first war of Uganda, Tanzania, he was there. So, you tell me 41-year-old Museveni was qualified and, but Bobi Wine, who is 43 years right now, is too young. Muli upside down. And I hope this time without internet helps you guys.
Okay, welcome back to this YouTube space. Now, election day in Uganda. Today, are we calling this election day, or this is just one of this mere joke that people do make out here? Because if they are voting today and they are facing out people, that soldiers are coming there to protect them, people now are feeling feared, right?
Shutting down the internet is not just part of the elections. This might be a way of life in Uganda.
Uganda is entering a familiar phase of election control by limiting access to the internet, something that keeps happening in countries across the world.
Governments have been left with no choice other than shutting down the internet.
From her place of hiding, Ugandan activist Akater Atuhaire says control over information and internet access are shaping this year's elections.
The internet plays a very, very big role in elections. The rigging happens and the public sees it in real time. So videos of someone of ballot stuffing. These governments we deal with have control over mainstream media, our conventional media. But the internet and social media come and they cannot stop anyone who has a phone and can afford data. So in Uganda's case, this trend of shutting down the internet started in 2016. When they blocked Facebook, people quickly learned that they can use VPNs. In 2021, they shut down the internet. By this time, they had known that people are trying to circumvent the internet shutdown. Some Ugandans wanted to roam from other countries where Starlink is licensed. It also shut down any Starlink that was roaming in Uganda. My biggest disappointment is the people that founded these platforms to, aid this access to information and the information flow. If communications can be switched off, it means that elections are just a tool now to legitimize illegitimate leaders. So in Tanzania, internet was shut down. The shutdowns have happened in DRC, Sudan, and Ethiopia.
The authorities will want to shut down any possible means of communication internally and outside the country because it makes it difficult to monitor and document human rights violations.
I just started being treated as an enemy of the state just because I am sharing information. I have been targeted with threats, with surveillance.
From Amnesty International to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights to the UN, all have the same concerns.
The election campaigns have once again been marked by widespread arbitrary arrests, detentions, and the use of unnecessary or disproportionate force against the opposition.
Hundreds of opposition supporters have been detained, and prominent activists and opposition leaders are behind bars.
Dr. Sarah Birete has been charged with the unlawful obtaining or disclosing of personal data.
Politics is not a game. It is a matter of life and death. If you decide badly, you can end up in a lot of problems.
During electioneering and campaigns, most of the human rights violations that we did.
The government of Uganda is shutting down the internet 2 full days before the general election on January 15. But Ugandans please keep your phones on and record anything the world should know about. When the internet is eventually restored, send it to me, send it to other journalists, and we can report on it. We saw this happen in Tanzania. The government declared a curfew, shut down the internet, and assumed that the world would not know what happened during that election season. But we were still able to report on it because brave Tanzanians recorded atrocities on their phones and shared it with me and other journalists. Good luck. Happy election.
As Uganda heads towards the January 15 election, tensions and anxiety are mounting among citizens following the deployment of soldiers across the streets of Kampala. DW's Frank Higa reports that while many voters feel uneasy, they remain determined to cast their ballots on Thursday.
For many residents, the heavy military presence at nearly every corner of the city is unsettling and unfamiliar. Observers expect this sense of uncertainty to intensify in the coming days. Supporters of two leading candidates, the incumbent President Yoweri Museveni and opposition figure Robert Kyagulanyi, widely known as Bobi Wine, tell DW they are simply waiting for election day to make their voices heard.
The mood in the city it is getting quiet, though excited at the same time, and of course many people are curious to vote. Many people are excited to go and vote for their leaders, their new leaders. And for me, I think that we are going to have very peaceful elections.
So unlikely that he's going to lose this election, depending on what we are seeing on ground, depending on his experience, the years he's been in power. It is so unlikely that he will lose. He stands to be one of the most favorite candidates for Ugandans, and I think he will win this election.
Electoral Commission has confirmed that election materials have been dispatched and observers are credited. Still, concerns linger over possible delays in delivering voting materials, particularly in opposition strongholds. Ugandans are eagerly anticipating Thursday's vote, in which President Museveni seeks a seventh term.
Many Kampala residents who were still uncertain about the election timetable woke up to a shocking sight of armed security personnel spread across the city. Some were on foot, others on motorcycles, and several in patrol vehicles, with nearly all security agencies visibly represented. Law enforcement officers were seen standing silently along the streets and junctions, some carrying tear gas canisters and others heavily armed. This left many city dwellers in fear and questioning the deployment, as others chose to continue with their businesses as if nothing is happening in their sight. Adding to the uneasiness, armored vehicles and military tanks were seen patrolling major roads, while others were parked at intersections and public spaces, drawing sharp criticism from presidential candidates.
It is abnormal that the military is now in all streets, not only Kampala, in Imbarara, in Bushenyi, Kapchora, it is everywhere. You deploy military near on all streets. This is a sign of panic and fear, cowardice.
The candidates say the deployment of soldiers and armored vehicles violates electoral guidelines and is meant to instill fear among voters.
There are no lives. Why do the commanders have to deploy military and whatever? That means they are intimidating our voters.
They have deployed as if the country is going to war. Areas of Karamoja, they have deployed. Troops are everywhere, tankers, fighter jets in Bushenyi. All this is uncalled for if we believe and say that we are going in for a free and fair election.
They have called on security agencies to immediately withdraw the soldiers and armored vehicles, warning that continued deployment could escalate tensions and undermine the credibility of the election.
So we are saying this should stop with immediate effect. This impunity, this fear, let the voters make a decision without interference.
We are giving all security agencies these 2 days to think twice.
Immediately, Museveni started beating people and harassing them after the turn-off of internet. Right now, as we speak, the internet in Uganda is shut down. Just because of a man who is scared to lose power, that is why Ugandans cannot communicate. The communication has been cut, has been shut down. Not only internet, even straight calls, there is no communication in Uganda. It has been shut down just because one man called Museveni is scared to lose power. But nevertheless, Ugandans that are still free, they are ready to go and vote for national platform and vote for change. Vote for a new leader. That is His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu, who is standing up for presidency for the second time. he ran for presidency in 2021, and there was a lot of vote rigging. We all know that why the internet is shut down is primarily to, of course, most of our staunch leaders and supporters plus activists, they are being abducted in huge numbers, and others are running for their lives because they are being hunted by NRM goons plus security organs. So we all know that immediately as soon as they switch off internet, they start vote rigging. They start rigging votes. So there is a lot of videos circulating where we seeing rampant vote rigging in different areas of Uganda. We call upon every other organization, African Union, East African Union, United Nations, and our forefathers, that is the British, because Uganda was colonized. Actually, Uganda was a British protectorate. We call upon the British, please stop supporting the government of Museveni, because it is not serving anything to citizens other than abductions, killings, and no services are available. To an extent that today, where the internet is supposed to be there so that people can watch what is going on and follow the voting as it is happening, they decided to switch off the internet. So there is...
The Uganda Communications Commission has directed all licensed mobile network operators and internet service providers to implement a temporary suspension of the following services. A, public internet access. B, sale of and registration of new SIM cards. C, outbound data roaming services to one network area countries. Public internet traffic which has been blocked includes social media platforms, web browsing, video streaming, personal email services, and messaging applications, among others. The internet restriction directed is in line with the legitimate purpose, that is protecting.
What is your next course of action if, in fact, we do see an alleged rigging of the election? What is your plan next?
First and foremost, it is interesting to see that everybody in Uganda and outside Uganda sees impending rigging. But what we have called upon the people of Uganda is to take charge of their country, not to leave it to just politicians, not even to myself. We went into this election amidst all the violence and brutality because we wanted to reach out to the people of Uganda and awaken them. We know that when the people of Uganda rise to the occasion and demand for what is rightly theirs, they will get it. This has happened in Madagascar, it has happened in Sudan, it has happened in...
Vote and go home. Don't even think on a single day that the chairman, Justice Simon Byabakama, will announce His Excellency Bobi Wine as the winner of the 15th of the January presidential polls. Never think that the current head of state will leave this power by voting. Don't waste our time. Quote by... Since they are getting bolder with their statements, I think I should also get bolder with mine. It is one thing to state that we already know who's going to win the election, and it's another to tell Ugandans that they are wasting time by voting. But also telling Ugandans that the current head of state will never leave power through a vote. Those statements are problematic on various frontiers. One, why are you creating political apathy? Because when you're telling Ugandans that don't waste our time, this election will not change the head of state, you are essentially just telling us, it's okay, don't even come to vote, stay home. And then two, telling us that an election will never change the head of state. What are you implying Ugandans should do to change the head of state? I don't know if you guys know how expensive conducting an election is. The government spent 689 billion Uganda shillings to conduct the 2021 general election. That's an official number they are giving us. They are not telling us all the other costs or some of the costs that were incurred, right? Since you are telling us it is pointless to vote, why are you spending taxpayer money, first of all? Secondly, money that we have borrowed from outside to conduct an election if an election could never be a means to change power. Which draws us to the question, why are you in fact conducting an election in the first place if we already know who's winning?
They told us, yes, we can. But today in Africa, we must ask, can we really? Can we make this happen really? Is this election day or it is a war day in Uganda? Is this democracy or this is being dictatorship to your people wearing civilian clothes in the street? This is yes, we can. And today we have to speak honestly. We have to be real with each other today. Today is Uganda's voting day. All right, they're voting to choose who will be leading them in the next few years. They don't know. They have to change their leadership, their leader, their president. All right. Now Uganda are supposed to choose their leader of their own choice. They're supposed to choose who will lead them in the next years, right? But look closely. Why is military everywhere? Why is soldiers filling the streets? Why does it? Why does an election day look like a security operation? It's like somebody has stolen the gun in a street in Uganda. Now they have to put their security to find the gun. Election day should be about hope, about ideas, about choice. Somebody choose who they want to be led by, to lead them as a president. But when guns surround ballots, then fear replaces freedom in Uganda. Now, so let me ask you a very clear question. If voting needs soldiers, is the people's voice really trusted or really heard by their own leaders? Now, when citizens see armed men at the polling stations, they don't feel empowered. They feel wanted. They feel watched. They feel controlled. They feel afraid all the time. And fear can never produce democracy. Never. Democracy needs confidence. It needs trust. It needs freedom. But in Uganda, it's another way around. So again, we'll ask: Is this democracy, or is just this is the power protecting itself? So, Uganda is a young nation. The youths are many, and the youths are saying only one thing: they want a change. They want a new leader. They want a future that includes them as well as the citizens of the country. But many older citizens still support President Museveni. Why? Let me ask you, why as old person supporting Museveni? This is why. Because he fought for stability. Okay, very good. Because he came during a hard time. Because history matters a lot to you, right? Yeah, history matters. I know that anybody should follow the history as long as it's true and it makes sense. Well, good. A nation cannot live forever in the past. We can never be here living those 19 whatever days. We are changing. We are growing. Right? So respecting yesterday should not cancel tomorrow. Because we are respecting Museveni, because he came here and fought for stability, he came in hard time, we have to lose our tomorrow, lose our future. Never. So the real question is, when will Uganda have a new leader, a new president chosen by people, freely, peacefully, and without fear? That's why I'll choose Kenya over Uganda, because Kenya will be real with you. They will come here, they will vote freely. Nobody's controlling them. No guns, no security, no soldiers, no military, no nothing. Yes, we can honor the past. Yes, we can respect the elders. Yes, we can value stability. But yes, we can also change leadership. Because if we can respect you as a leader, if we can honor you as a president, if we can value you as our leader, then yes, we can change you as our leader. True democracy allows transition. It allows renewal. It allows a fresh vision to the youths who are coming in the next generations. Without that, frustration, fear, and everything that the downfall grows among the youths. Now, let me bring Tanzania into this also, because they are also taking part in this. Now, let's talk about this country. Another election that happened in Tanzania, another landslide in Tanzania, one party win 98% of votes. 98% of votes. 98%? 98.7 votes. Then who is taking in the other small percentage? Only 1%. And who is leading the opposition party? Those parties that are trying to vie for the leadership, they are being silenced. They are being restricted, blocked from campaigning freely, blocked from competing equally with others. So let's be honest. If one party always wins almost everything, is that popularity or this is control? Let's be honest here. Stealing, robbery, or something? Or tell me in the comments. Real democracy gives a space to all voices, even uncomfortable ones. Because it's democracy, it's a country. Real democracy gives you space to be heard, to be seen, to participate. But when opposition cannot even have been able to breathe, democracy is already dead a long time ago. So Tanzania and Uganda, different countries but same pattern. Security over freedom, power over people, control over choices, elections that happen but do not feel free. Don't feel like I voted for somebody. Don't feel happy about anything. And this is dangerous to anybody, any country in Africa. You know how Africa runs things, right? Because when people lose faith in the ballots, they start looking for it elsewhere. And history has taught us where that leads. It leads to something else. Yes, we can does not mean silence. Yes, we can does not mean fear. Yes, we can does not mean that lead us forever. Leaders cannot lead us forever. Yes, we can means peaceful change, free choices, fair competition, and youth inclusion in everything as the country is doing to grow them also. Africa does not need results or roles for life. Africa needs a system that outlives individuals as well. So I leave you the question. If election look like a military operation, if the opposition is blocked from participating in the election, if youth's voices are being ignored by the leaders, can we still be like, yes, we can in this country? Or it's time for us to say that who is stopping us? This is yes, we can. Think freely, question power, and speak the truth. Till next episode, I love you and peace. Bear with Uganda. I'm out.